I extend heartiest welcome to all the distinguished delegates and convey greetings on the first Foundation Day. It is indeed a historic day, being the first year, completion of first year is a landmark event. We started this journey during the lockdown, and with the support of our senior colleagues, in the first foundation meeting held on 3rd August, we received overwhelming support to start the South Asian Meteorological Association. Under the guidance of advisory committee, we had been taking concrete steps to realize the dream and the objectives of the society, of the association. And I am happy that with the active support of younger generation led by Professor Someshwar Das, our young executive team, we have been able to achieve most of our objectives and the target sets in the first year. So before I go into the overview, let me first of all convey our thanks to Professor U.C. Mohanty, professor at IIT Bhubaneswar and the former chairman of the Sarkstorm project, who have agreed to deliver a Foundation Day lecture on a very important topic of regional cooperation in meteorology, covering 3 important aspects, that is research, services, and capacity building. He needs no introduction, but formal introduction will be given by Professor Fatima. We are fortunate to have eminent personalities on our panel, starting from the international organization, regional association, and leading research and operational institutes. We have with us Dr. Ahluwalia, who is techno entrepreneur at Canada, Montreal, settled in Montreal, but has been contributing immensely for the growth of meteorology internationally. And he is presently a president of International Federation of Met Societies. Thank you, Dr. Ahluwalia, for joining in the early morning from Canada. We have Honorable Dr. Pema Gamtso, Director General of EC Mode, and we know the importance of Himalayan countries in the South Asia and the work being done by the EC Mode. Thank you so much, sir. We also are to join by Dr. Subaiya, who is the Director of the RIMES, who have been doing pioneering work in Asia and Africa. About 35 countries are being supported by them. So these are the international organizations which we are going to be associated, and we are already associated. So thank you so much joining us. We have 4 regional partners with us, the agriculture, the health, disaster people. So to start with, we have Dr. Chattopadhyay, who is the convener of the South Asian Federation of Agrometeorologists. We have Rohit Magotra, who is the Deputy Director and working in the South Asian Heat Health Program. We have with us also Professor Sriram Sharma, who is heading South Asian Lighting Network. Along with this, we also have two important personalities from the research community, that is Dr. Ashish Mitra, who is the head of the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast, and Dr. Srinivas Kumar, who is director of the INCOIS Hyderabad. So thank you so much, sir, all of you. Of course, and panel discussion will be moderated by our own Dr. Rathore, who is well known to all of us and is a pillar of our association. So thank you, Dr. Rathore Sahab, for moderating our panel discussion. Now I'll give you a brief overview of South Asian Meteorological Association activities for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the SAMA. So let me start. So it was formed on 3rd of August 2020 where 44 senior colleagues as a founding member of the society gave a support to start this association. And this is an association of 9 South Asian countries and engaged in the promotion of meteorology and allied sciences, essentially for the well-being of the society. Next. 4 senior colleagues as a founding member of the society gave a support to start this association. And this is an association of 9, why there is a South Asian countries and engaged in the promotion of meteorology.
Someone's YouTube is on. Someone's YouTube is on.
Okay, so okay, the vision is very straightforward, sharing the knowledge without boundaries and the borders. And this is the hallmark of our regional cooperation. And we are happy that we are working with all the 9 countries and the regional associations of this area to promote this very concept and achieve the vision. And the mission of the association is to use this meteorology, to apply this meteorology, the applications for the development of the region. Next. Objectives of the associations are to foster interaction amongst professionals working in meteorology and allied fields in the South Asia. Idea is to promote meteorologist to meteorologist interaction beyond the formal governmental system, which is very much required. And we have been seeing encouraging results of this networking. Advancement in meteorological and allied sciences in South Asia, application of meteorology and allied sciences for the sustainable development of the region, communicate knowledge of climate change and extreme weather events to the public through citizen science and outreach programs, and to promote public, private, and academia partnership for the promotion of the meteorology and the societal applications. So as mentioned, we are lucky to have guidance of senior colleagues from all the 9 countries. Each country is being represented by 2 senior and experienced meteorologists. So in all total, we have got 18 advisory committee members from the 9 countries, and also institutional representatives from the RIMES and ISIMOD, Dr. Srinivasan and Dr. Ghulam Rasool, respectively. Thank you so much the support provided by our AC members. And the workhorse, as I mentioned to you, is our executive support team of young volunteers led by Professor Someshwar Das. We have, as of now, 15 executive support team members, and entire work is being done by them voluntarily. As of now, we don't have any physical resources or the financial resources. So it is really commendable on the part of the volunteers which are working from their resources to put up this webinar, these webinars, newsletter, website, and many more activities which have done. So we have now executive support team members alphabetically ordered. It is given here, starting from Akhilesh to Binod from Nepal. We have got from India. We have got from Bangladesh, Fatima and Mohan. Also, we have from Sri Lanka. Also from Bhutan and Myanmar. We are looking forward for the volunteers from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Maldives, and look forward for their participation, because it is the teamwork and their involvement positively is going to push the activities of SAMA in their respective countries. Next.
Ajit,
yes,
sorry
please.
to interrupt you. This is Mushtaq Ali Shah.
Welcome,
from
sir.
Pakistan Meteorological Department.
Sir. You are welcome, sir, and we look forward. We, in fact, had been requesting Rasool Saab and Chaudhary Saab for more participation from our colleagues from Pakistan. And now I'm sure with your presence, we look forward both as members and members of the executive support team, because without Pakistan, this association is feeling little, I think, handicapped.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. So this was the highlights of the first AC meeting, which set up an agenda for us to work. Essentially, it was to formalize the objectives, develop a constitution, membership drive, also have a logo for the SAMA, and also start the institutional partnership in the region. We had 3 committees formed. Of these, 2 are already in the place. We are looking for the scientific committee shortly. So the advisory committee is in the place, and constitution drafting committee was in place, and we have now a constitution in place after the concurrence of all the AC members. So plan for 2020 was framing of the constitution, which has been achieved. A series of webinars. We were able to organize webinars, quiz, and training workshops. Effective training program per se of 3 to 5 days could not be conducted because we were looking for the participating countries to identify the areas in which this workshop would be planned. So we'll now work with the Myanmar, Bhutan, and Maldives to start with. If they are looking for some training initiatives, we will positively support. But we did have a training workshop on observations conducted, a one-day workshop. Lectures on comet series we are going to start. It was also suggested to conduct initially a monthly basis. So we have now a monthly webinar program, which is being now conducted regularly. We have been able to set up a website, started a newsletter, the inaugural issue of which will be launched today, and also the e-conference is essentially the webinars which we are holding. Next, please. So this is the teamwork outcomes. As I have mentioned, we have done constitutions. SAMA website is in place. Annual newsletter is being launched now. We have been able to bring into our fold many like-minded organizations and work with them in organizing the webinars. Monthly webinars are being organized. We had been a little cautious in enrolling the members, but we have reached a fairly respectable number of 200 along with the student membership. We are going in a big way to promote the student membership because ultimately they are the future of meteorology in the South Asia, and their capacity building and mentorship is very much required. And these are the webinars which are given here. We are lucky to have partners. The first webinar was done on World Ozone Day with Vigyan Prasar, India Met Department, Indian Met Society. You will be happy to know that there were 22,000 students who participated in this Met quiz, and a popular lecture was delivered, and there was, and followed by was a monsoon, SESCOF's regional monsoon follow-ups webinar held by, along with the India Met Society and India Met Department, and also the other countries in the region which provided the monsoon state of monsoon 2020. It was followed by online training workshop with the, held at the SRM University, and we had a WMO day thanks to INCOIS and our colleagues from Bangladesh who participated in this webinar. We had a very successful webinar on the lightning because this is emerged as one of the major disasters in the South Asia during pre-monsoon and monsoon. And it was followed by another webinar on heat waves with our partners, Virare, Indian Met Society, and SAHIN, which is a program in South Asia Heat Health Initiative. Recently, we had a webinar on the restoration of marine ecosystem from Dr. Rasool from EC widely received, and we'd like to follow it up. And today we are holding this webinar on the Foundation Day. This is the newsletter, which is going to be quarterly. It covers the recent events, events in the countries, meteorological events in each country, the significant weather events, and also the forthcoming events which are going to take place. Apart from this, we are looking forward for many items to be covered in this, which will be also a platform for knowledge sharing. Next. So we did hold a logo competition, which was suggested, and we got a very good response. In fact, in all 9 logos were given by the various enthusiasts from India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. So it is a good was a good response we have received. We never expected to have such good logos coming forward. So these are the logos, and each one had an explanation given the reasons behind it. Next, please. Okay, so finally, it was put to a secret voting by all the members. So we had a good response of good about 100 votes were received. And this morning, I think this is the result of this logo competition. It is fairly good part, and this is the final logo which is selected based on the voting. And this will be now used as a logo of Sama. I think this represents both geographically and meteorologically the region of the Sama. So hopefully this logo will be a good signage for the Sama. Next. So with this, these are the top 3 votes which were received in this voting competition. Next, please. So with this, the now IMS has got website, logo, and a wide variety of social engagements through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All our webinars are available on the YouTube, which are being viewed regularly. So we are going to be fairly active on social media. Our young people are spearheading this campaign, and positively the outreach of Sama under the guidance of our advisory committee members and senior colleagues will be able to achieve the desired objectives. We look forward from the panelists and the advisory committee members the guidance for the next year so that we can plan out our activities and implement and come forward with our achievements in next year's Foundation Day. Thank you so much once again. Thanks for joining this webinar and encouraging us and supporting us in our endeavor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ABM Professor Tyagi Saab, for the welcome address and summarizing the activities of Sama in the last 1 year. Thank you also for launching the first issue of the newsletter of Sama, the quarterly newsletter of Sama. And thank you also for the declaration of the results of the logo competition of Sama. And he has already shown that we had a very good number of submission of the logos, 9 from different countries, including India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And the first 3 logos which got the maximum vote were also shown. First was already displayed, and followed by the second one, which was submitted by Bangladesh, and the third one was submitted by Sri Lanka. So thank you very much, Professor Tyagi Saab, for your welcome address. And now I would like to request Dr. Fatima Akhtar to introduce our chief guest, Professor Mohanty, who will deliver the lecture today. Professor Dr. Fatima, please. Is your mic okay?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, slightly loudly, please.
Sir, screen share is visible?
Yeah, screen is visible.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the time to introduce our speaker of today's event, Professor Umacharan Mohanty. Our honorable speaker, Professor Umacharan Mohanty, sir, after working for more than 33 years at IIT Delhi in various capacities from lecturer to head and professor in higher administrative grade, is currently associated with IIT Bhubaneswar as a visiting professor in the School of Earth, Ocean and Climate Science. He also served the DST National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting for more than 2 years as Joint Director and Head of the Research. Under his guidance, Medium Range Weather Forecasting System was for the first time operational in the country in June 1994. He was in honorary capacity, served the Odisha Bigyan Academy as its president from 2013 to 2015. He had also served as Vice President of Indian Meteorological Society and Senior Associate of International Center for Theoretical Physics, Italy. Professor Mohanty is recognized for his deep understanding of fundamental meteorology, observational studies, and numerical. His outstanding researches led to set up several milestones, especially in the predictions of weather and climate that have widely been recognized by the scientific communities worldwide. Professor Mohanty's illustrious teaching and research career spans over 48 years, during which he was published more than 300. Also, he published 70 books. So far, 40 have been awarded PhD degree and 5 have been continuing their research for PhD degree from IIT Bhubaneswar. Professor Mohanty has been conferred with many awards and recognizing for his prestigious different awards like Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, National Award in Atmospheric Sciences and Technology, Biju Patnaik Award for Scientific Excellence, Sir Gilbert Walker Gold Medal, Samantha Chandra Shekhar Award, Aeronautical Research, and Professor M.G. Deshpande Award. He also been founded as fellow for 4 national science and engineering academics, namely the Indian Academy of Science, National Academy of Science, India, and the Indian National Sciences of Academy and Indian National Academy of Engineering. He is also fellow of Indian Meteorological Society and Indian Geophysical Union. We are very honored to have you in our event. Thank you, sir. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Fatima, for introducing Professor Mohanty. And now I would like to request Professor Mohanty to start his talk. Professor Mohanty, please.
Thank you very much, madam. And at the outset, very good afternoon to everyone, and my heartiest greetings to all the members of this very prestigious society, as well as distinguished gathering of today's function. It is very auspicious function because it is the first anniversary of Sama, and I think this is a long-standing demand for this region, which is fulfilled under this Sama program. So my heartiest congratulations to all the office bearers, executive members, advisors, and supporters of this activity in this region. And today's talk, again, I thank the organizations to select me for this talk. And the title, as you know, it is Regional Cooperation in Meteorology, Research, Services, and Capacity Building. In fact, that is the main theme of the society also, Sama. So I'll give a brief introduction, followed by unique features of the South Asia, global and regional collaborations, and the climate change, one of the major themes, and some of the recommendations. As we all know, meteorological science of weather and climate for common people, covering all the branches of the or all the stakeholders of our society, and a system that having no social, geographical, nor political consideration, and it is boundaryless, and there is no boundaries. And at the same time, it is a complex process and nonlinear system science covering almost all branches of basic science. The application of this weather and climate science, as we all know, that it is cover almost all branches, starting from the food security, water resources, transportation, defense services, industry and mining, clean energy, health, communication, tourism, disaster mitigation and management, and so on. It is only the few aspects that I'm showing you here. So it almost cover all branches of a common man of our society. Similarly, if we see this science, weather and climate science, it is a science, but in many places it is also considered as the engineering, because it is a science of applications, and it covers all branches of physical science. Of course, I don't have time to go through entire thing, but to know all that it covers physical science, mathematical science, chemical science, biological science, art sciences, environmental science, and computer science. Almost all branches of science it is covered. Similarly, also various branches of engineering, it comes on the umbrella, starting from the high level of instrumentation like aircraft, UAV, radar, ships, buoys, and so on, to that of the communications and its applications and so on. So therefore, this is, no boundary as we consider the application of science and engineering for the benefit of the common people. Atmospheric process is also a continuous science in space and time, and has strong linkage and interaction with lithosphere, cryosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and outer space. Atmospheric circulation is continuous and it is over the entire globe. Hence, issues on climate science demands all the time collaboration and interaction among all the nations. Even before formation of the United Nations, 1947, before that also, we have the IMO, International Meteorological Organization, followed by the WMO, IPCC, IOC, IFMS, BIMSTEC, RIMES, and so many organizations and institutions and societies, they are involved to bring together the community of the meteorological or atmospheric science community together to solve the problem of immense importance for the mankind. That itself signifies how important this branch of science as a people are concerned, and also it cannot be fulfilled unless we have some international collaboration cooperation. So that is what I said, that if we see that weather and climate science, the weather system is a highly nonlinear coupled system, and the component of the weather system are open and non-isolated subsystems. They interact on a wide range of space and time, and they are strongly coupled and are characterized by intense interaction at various time and space scales, ranging from micro, meso, to the planetary scales. So this itself shows that how complex it is science, how much it demand interaction of the people and various branches of science also to fulfill the major objectives of weather and climate science to serve our mankind. If we see that in the perfect prediction, it needs again extensive observations, understanding of the processes, modeling the processes, and ultimately the prediction. They are also intimately linked to each other. That means that all branches of meteorological science have to work together to achieve the overall objective, and they are all joined together. If we go to our South Asian region, the unique features are that we have two monsoon seasons. One is summer monsoon and one is winter monsoon. We have two cyclonic seasons, pre-monsoon cyclones and post-monsoon cyclones. Most of the weather and climate systems are modulated by Himalayas, Bay of Bengal, and the Arabian Sea. We face with almost similar type of natural hazards, that is hydrometeorological hazards, disasters, like severe thunderstorms and lightning, tropical cyclones, and storm surges, floods and droughts, heat and cold waves, landslide, avalanche, and mudslide, and so on. And we all are developing countries, and majority of our population are engaged in agriculture and farming activities. So these are the gametes of the disaster that we face with our region, and starting from very short tornadoes to very long droughts. And if we see that this disaster, it is a WMO record for the 10 years, 1991 to 2000, that it shows that about 90% of the natural disasters are associated with the hydrometeorological disaster. Similarly, if we see the significant damages, it is actually 30% due to tropical cyclone, 32% due to flood, and 22% drought, 10% due to earthquake and other disasters. Similarly, if we see people that are affected, almost 85% of people that are affected with the floods, droughts, tropical cyclones, and so on. And total number of reported disasters, if we see, Asia is the leading, and in that, of course, our South Asia is one of the remarkable region of associated with the various type of hydrometeorological hazards. Similarly, the people that are affected by this disaster, Asia is 80%, and so also, if you see, we are also the majority people of this region that are affected by one or other type of natural hazards. WM has collaborated with many organizations to develop and provide better warning systems all over the globe, and so also our region. So I don't have time to tell you each one of them, and almost all of you know that the various organizations are associated with the United Nations and other organizations and societies and different international NGOs and so on. They all are associated with to take this science, make it as comprehensive as possible, and finally provide the better forecast and warning on weather and climate systems for the people of different nations. If we see the regional collaborations, which is the theme of the today, regional collaboration among the South Asian countries mainly cover the following aspects. Of course, research and development, because all our 9 countries, as you know, that we have to work together because we have the unique type of problems we all face it. And we need a lot of research and development work. We need exchange of data. Services is the ultimate goal, because ultimately the thing have to go to the people. And as a society, some capacity building of our people or our interested parties is the most important. Field experiments and forecast immersion program is equally important, and I will also highlight, I will move something on field experiments that we have launched under SAR countries once, that short-term programs. And climate change, its impact and adaptation, though climate change is a global issue, but its impact and adaptation strategy is very much regional specific. And in that respect, we have to go a long way so that we can adapt. And now we all know that with the corona, we all are down to stand still or so, which is a phenomenon of a year or two. But once a climate change comes, you know that it is for years and years to recover from that. And that needs definitely a lot of preparation to assess the impact and then adaptation strategy. So as I will go by one, as the research is concerned, collaborative R&D among academic, operational research, and industrial organizations to improve understanding and prediction of various weather systems, very essential. R&D for improvement in general forecast of different time scales, such as forecasting to short range, medium range, extended range, monthly to seasonal scale, and climate projections. They are all of their importance and relevance for this region, because as I told, it's a developing countries, and we have farming or agriculture is the most important, and for which we need all type of this type of forecasts. R&D to enhance models and the prediction capability with improved models and data capability for better prediction is also equally important. Specific area of research and development, like high impact extreme weather events of common occurrence, because this region, as I told, most of the phenomena occur as a result of our two beds, Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea and Himalayas. So our problem is very common, and most of the extreme weather events of this region are severe thunderstorms with associated lightning. That is what we took up once under the SARC storm program. And I will show you some glimpses as we move further. And it was really quite heartening that all 8 SARC countries are very intimately associated with this program. And we need such type of program so that the people can come together with their problems and try to solve. Tropical cyclones of Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea are very common to almost all countries of this region. Monsoonal heavy rainfall and associated floods is also another common thing of this domain. Other thing is a specific R&D for the application-oriented prediction. Such agrometeorology, for which we have now, I congratulate also the members of that society that we have SAFOM under the program of agrometeorology for the South Asian countries. Hydrological extremes like floods and droughts, and these needs specific application so that the benefit go to the common people. R&D on impact-based prediction and warning systems of hydrometeorological hazards for effective mitigation is very, very demanding for this region. Research on climate change, its impact, and various adaptation strategies to be implemented in the member countries. And there also, the SAMA have to play the lead role, because we have to bring together the experience, expertise of the people of the region so that the benefit can go to them at the end. Similar data exchange is one of the biggest programs. As you know that in meteorology have no boundary, and in atmospheric science, we need always demand more and more data and data from all the region, because the weather and climate systems, it never see the boundary, any geographical or political boundaries. So therefore, availability of public data should be shared with all the countries as much as possible, in which again, it has broadly of 4 types: observation data, special experiment data, analyzed graded data, and model products. So all these type of data are very, very important, and that as much as possible should be shared with all the member countries and all the people who are interested do some work for the region. Increase both land-based and remote sensing data sets like satellite data and observation data acquisition and sharing. India has a big program that NCMWF, thanks to the program of the Monsoon Mission, they have generated very nice data set. I think Dr. A.K. Mitra will tell in his address about this data that Indian monsoon data simulation analysis system from 1979 to 2018, and still I think they're continuing. And this is a very good data set for the research in this region. Indian rainfall analysis, again, a very huge data set of more than 120 years are available. And that need to be augmented with the data from our neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and Pakistan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, and all the member countries, so that we can have a comprehensive rainfall analysis for the region for longer time, because that is the ultimate thing, that's what people need of the regions. Like that, we have a codex data at the IITM, and seasonal simulation data also available from IITM, which is also a common database for the many research in this region. Special field experiments are carried out, like the SARC storm program, and India conducted Montplex, BOMMEX, ARMEX, and so on. All these common data sets which is generated, that also are valuable data sets, which can be helpful for better understanding of the weather and climate systems in the region, and ultimately bringing the fruit of that to the common people. Services, that is the really backbone of all these things, because ultimately all we want, that observation, understanding, for modeling, all what we do, finally we want a service for the nation. And because we all came up to this stage, that is the contribution of the society to us. And this is a science where we can pay back, and that cannot be done by individual. A lot of products are generated by different countries, and that have to share for the benefit of the people in the region. So therefore, enhance and improve meteorological service in member countries through intense collaboration and interaction. Already something is going on. It is not that we are doing on the summer a new thing, but to strengthen that, bring the people together and bring the like-minded people, so that we can share more and more products generated by different countries. And many data are also available in the public domains, like monthly seasonal forecast and so on. Customization of the products, their calibration and validation, and value addition of various forecast products for use in services by member countries, for various stakeholders of the society, is one of the very important aspects that needs to be looked after by our youngsters. Exchange of operation service experience and expertise through frequent regional scale conferences, workshops, short-term refresher courses, and training program will enhance the capability of all member countries' service personnel in the meteorological and hydrological services, so that they can utilize the products and bring the benefit to the common people. Plan and implement specific forecast demonstration program. This common program always brings the people together, and it gives us our strength and weakness, and we build up with our strength, and we try to overcome our weakness. And that will be possible by the forecast demonstration program, where we can bring the common things forecast by different countries and see which one, what is the beneficial, how much it can be translated to other countries, and so that we can evaluate and improve forecast skill of our member countries. So it is not a part of seeing that who is doing good or bad, but taking good thing of everybody and putting that together, so that we bring a massively good thing for our society. Capacity building. The most important component on SAMA, I feel, is the capacity building and public awareness program. And in fact, that is the broad objectives and mission of this program. It's not that we are coming together just to meet each other. Of course, we all are good old friends, and it is not that we are meeting through it, but our whole objective that we want to build up the capacity of each and every nation of our members, so that we can get the benefit of the successes in our weather and climate science. That needs education, training, awareness, exchange of experience and expertise, through conferences, symposia, workshops, and events. Education. Weather and climate science program in higher education organization is very much needed. We don't have so much education in this area in the India as well as neighbor country. We have only 1-2 universities in each state, country. But I think this is such a science within climate. I think each and every university should have this program in a full form or partial form. In full form means we should have the departments on weather and climate science, which as the SAMA can help in various ways. Like I am telling, formulate some course of studies, prepare some teaching materials offline, because at least from Corona, we know one good thing that we meet today, though we are physical not meeting, but we are feeling that as if we are sitting side by side. I think without perhaps Corona, we should not have done this, because every good, bad thing has also some good thing. And now actually we are so much with this webinar and so on, so that more frequently, without spending money, without any hurdles, we can meet each other, discuss with each other, as if we are sitting side by side. Therefore, this offline, online programs methods can be developed. Teaching modules by experts can be developed. Participate in online teaching also. Some of our members, they can teach, and exchange of research scholars and joint guidance also can be done. There's no need of physically coming from one place to other. It can be done also online. And this thing can be done in each and every university, and I think SAMA should try to encourage and involve universities, and so that they can have either full-time programs, or they can have even part-time, like physics, mathematics, or chemistry departments. They can have one or other courses, maybe few courses, or like nowadays we have actually module systems. So we can have few modules on basic physics, physics of the atmosphere, physics, science of the climate change, and so on. So that even the mathematics and physics students or chemistry students, they can also have an awareness about the society, the science, how it can go to the community. Motivate and encourage youngsters to take higher studies in weather and climate science and allied disciplines. Training, professional training as per requirements, training to the service personnel to improve forecast skills, refresher course to adopt new technologies and new forecast systems, so that it can better translated and ultimately used for the services of the nation member countries. Awareness and capacity building program, that is general public, administrators, policymakers, media personnel, stakeholders, they have to be trained. As a society, we can do this. This can be used by each member countries or directed by the SAMA, and so that we can reach to the people of various sectors, so that they can understand, they can appreciate, they can utilize, and they get benefit out of this science. Prepare for collaboration and exchange on preparedness and all developing countries. And you all know that Bay of Bengal is such a notorious day, where actually we have the cyclone like Bola in 1970, or like in Nagis in 2008, where actually more than lakhs of people are perished, and where actually our skill and our knowledge in this science help to reduce that type of things. Networking with young groups to actively participate in capacity building and awareness program on weather and climate adaptation strategies. Special field experiments on aspects or processes common to the region involving all member countries enable better understanding and improvement of prediction skill, and such as sharp storm. And I will cover a little bit after this slide to that. It brings closer scientists of the region on common issues of the region in performing experiments, carry out R&D, exchange of collected data, joint publication, better observation system implementations. It also gives training, on-site training on sophisticated and modern instruments for institute data collections. It helps to enhance observation network in data sparse and data sparse nations for the success of the experiment. Like field experiment, forecast demonstration programs, like such as prediction of tropical cyclones over the North Indian Ocean, or heavy rainfall during southwest monsoon season, are some of the programs which can be taken up jointly by the members of the SAMA with their respective countries. It improves true spirit of cooperation and collaboration in atmospheric science. And we know that thunderstorms are most specular weather phenomena resulting to various convective activities. This I am telling you about SARC storm program. The understanding and prediction of these weather events is challenged due to a lack of meteorological observation and insufficient understanding. The history is that when Dr. Someshwar Das was in SARC, SMRC in Dhaka, and I was that time was chairman of our storm program for Indian component. So we thought together to start a SARC storm program involving 8 SARC countries, because every country is involved in one or other way with the severe convective activities leading to thunderstorms and dust storms and so on. They realizing the importance of these weather events and their socio-economic impacts, SARC storm program was initiated in 2009. A SARC storm program is the first of its kind and unique program involving 8 member countries out of the 9 that we are the members now in the summer. And as I told, the purpose was to understand the genesis, development, and propagation of the severe thunderstorms, including thunderstorm climatology, to enhance the knowledge of dynamical and thermodynamical structure, the role of microphysical processes for occurrence and intensification, assess the thunderstorm predictability, examining the surface inhomogeneity, land surface processes, and surface hydrology for interaction of convection, coastal land sea dynamics in development of severe thunderstorms, study the characteristics of atmospheric electricity, and development of mesoscale assimilation and prediction systems with improved forecasting for the severe thunderstorms forecasting and warning by the National Meteorological Services. And its benefit that a better insight into the genesis, evolution, propagation of severe thunderstorms of the region, enhancement of observation network, because many countries have not that time, we don't have upper air stations by many countries. So we try to see that every country should have at least one upper air stations and also enhance the surface observations. Even also we plan that to shift some radars and put in the member countries. Unfortunately, SARC's SMRC was closed and this program was not taken up in full spirit, but otherwise it must have given a great jump in our observations and prediction, modeling and prediction aspect. We divided the region into 3 different phases. The phase 1, that is involving Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and northeast part of India, that is intense convective severe thunderstorm that is called cyclone known. Phase 2 involved the India and Pakistan, that is dry convection, dust storms, and western disturbances. And third phase was the maritime countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, and peninsular India. So these 3 regions were picked up, and different regions have different convective activities. We have really excellent collaboration and cooperation with all these countries, and they are working hand in hand and putting all the resources and helping each other. And I feel, or I dream, that one such program SAMA should initiate and taking the help of all our members who can mobilize their national meteorological and hydrological services so that to take a joint program. So this was anyhow international program committee, and I will not go to that. And this is the structure that we have followed. And I have greatest support from Professor Someswar Das and also the team of the SMRC that time. And they have taken very, very active role. And all the countries, all the 8 countries, really very enthusiastically. And the people have so nicely worked together as if we are one problem, one objective, working together. I think that gives a lot of, as I told you, that collaboration, cooperation, and mutual understanding among each other, which cannot be achieved just by some few conferences. And these are the different phases that we have taken, and I am keeping those things. And similarly, climate change, as I told, the future is now the climate change, and the biggest challenge for all of us, that is the climate change, which is a global issue with regional impacts and consequences. The most important area for regional collaboration and cooperation on climate change. The climate change scenario so that extreme weather events will be significantly enhanced, leading to increase in extreme rainfall events, floods and droughts, intense tropical cyclones, severe thunderstorms with lightning, heat waves, and so on. It affects the public life, the food security, health, and water resources. Need to develop regional adaptation and mitigation strategies, because the weather and climate science, and particularly the climate change, it affects our food security, health, clean energy, water resources, sustainable development, ultimately peace of the region. Therefore, Sama is not really confined in a small way. If it is full bloom, it really will bring a new synergy among the people, and ultimately the common people will, when get benefited out of that, they will all will be really appreciate this. With the climate change, as I was telling you, that extreme weather events are increasing, like tropical cyclones. I'm showing Bay of Bengal, pre-monsoon and post-monsoon. If we see that the number of depressions are not so much increasing or sometimes decreasing, but severe cyclone storms, SCS, they are increased by about pre-monsoon 41%, post-monsoon is 72%. Similarly, in the Arabian Sea also, you can see that the number of cyclones, and particularly the severe cyclones, the number is increasing with the climate change. So these cyclones, as you know, they are actually affecting most of our member countries. And this is what is the natural hazards change with the climate change. As all you know, that all these hydrometeorological hazards are going to increase with the climate change. So therefore, we have to get prepared ourselves how we can translate our knowledge together so that we can make a strategy for adaptation and mitigation in the scenario of climate change. So I just wrote down a few recommendations, but anyhow, we have a very distinguished panel of experts. After hearing them, and with this talk, you can plan for your next and few next years, so that actually we can really establish in true sense regional collaboration and cooperation. All the member countries should have professional society, if not aid form. Like we have the IMS, we have, and few other countries have their meteorological societies, but I want think that all these 9 countries of our member countries, all they should have a professional meteorological society for implementation of various programs on weather and climate services. These professional society may be networked with SAMA, and as far as possible may serve as the local nodal agency or local chapters, like International Federation of Meteorological Societies, that is by our friend Professor Arulua is doing in Canada for the International Foundation for Meteorological Society. We can have all the meteorological society can be part of our SAMA as the local chapters. The local chapters may start enrollment of more members, student members, formal manner for their own countries with overall guidance of SAMA. Local chapters may serve as the nodal center for SAMA for implementation of various collaborative activities in their respective countries. The specific thing to start with the SAMA and the local chapters may work on organized conferences, which already started, symposia already started, workshop of common interest that can be enhanced, and we can have one specific long conference every year, like many other societies like AGO and European Union and others. That we conduct training programs and infrastructure courses as per the requirement, encourage higher education organizations to start full or partial course on various aspects of weather and climate science, prepare online materials for expert members for education, capacity building, and awareness activities of common interest, design and implement a field experiment of common interest in the region, like I described, like SAR program. With this, I again thank all who gave me this opportunity to present briefly that how important is our collaboration and cooperation, and which is actually the theme of the SAMA, that how we take our science to our common people most effectively. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Mohanty, for delivering very interesting talk on regional cooperation in meteorology, research services, and capacity building. You have explained how important regional cooperation is and the collaboration in this field. This is one of the unique fields in which we have excellent global collaboration on exchanging the meteorological data on routine basis. We now have to also collaborate on the research and capacity building. We hope that SAMA will try to fulfill this goal for the benefit of the people of this region. So thank you very much once again. The next, we have the question and answer session for about 10 minutes. We are running behind by about 23 minutes. We are late in the session. So I'd like to request that the question and answer system may be squeezed to 5 minutes rather than 10 minutes. And if there are any questions on the chat box, Dr. Swagata and Dr. Mohan, please take up the question for answer by Professor Mohanty. Is there any question, Dr. Swagata and Dr. Mohan?
Thank you, sir. At present, just one question may be no question yet. Just Dr. Mazharologist raised the concern to include the food security may be replaced by agriculture and food security.
And also the second one, we just did the next one. SAMA should arrange a study. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, also mean that's a comment. SAMA should arrange a study and exchange program on the impacts of climate change on biodiversity and ecosystem for the members of SAMA. So not very specific question till now.
Okay, so if there are no questions, then we move to the next program. And there is a very important program, panel discussion. The topic of the panel discussion is importance of regional cooperation in meteorology. And before we start the panel discussion, I would like to introduce the panel members. And for that, I'm going to share my screen. Just hold on, please, for a while. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, okay. Our first panel member is Dr. Harinder Pal Singh Ahluwalia. He is the president of the International Forum for Meteorological Societies, IFMS. Something is blocking in my screen. I'll just try to reduce it. Okay. Dr. Ahluwalia is currently the president of the IFMS, as I said, and previous president of the Canadian Meteorological and Oceanographic Society. He is interested in capacity building through regional and national meteorological societies around the world to withstand the adverse effects of global warming and climate change, and to help in improving economies through accurate weather forecasting. Recently, he helped create African Meteorological Society, AFMS. In 1981, he founded a technology company, Info Electronics Systems, in Montreal, Canada, for developing systems and infrastructure in the field of meteorology, hydrology, remote sensing, and atmospheric monitoring. He started company's office in India in 1995 for India's progress. Objective is to develop latest technology in meteorology, hydrology, and oceanography. He is a fellow of CMOS, ICC, Technology, Man of the Year, ex-member of the National Roundtable in Environmental and Economy appointed by the Canadian PM, and many more. He has published around 30 papers and articles in journals, newspapers, and newsletters. His research interests are conceiving and building optimum infrastructure for meteorology and hydrology. Dr. Ahluwalia received his BTech and MTech from IIT Delhi and MSc in microwaves and PhD in electromagnetics from University of in Canada, and postgraduate fellowships in McGill University, Montreal. So thank you very much, Dr. Ahluwalia, for your presence, and we are honored by your presence, so you're welcome. Our next distinguished panel member is Dr. Pema Gyamtso. He is the Director General of International Center for Integrated Mountain Development at Kathmandu, Nepal. Dr. Gyamtso has served the Royal Government of Bhutan as Minister of Agriculture and Forest. His appointment as Director General marks his return to EC mode. He worked previously with the center, both with the governing board as representative and observer of Bhutan, and in a senior level position, during which he traveled throughout the region. Dr. Gyamtso was a member of the Planning Commission, Sustainable Development Secretariat, Center for Bhutan Studies, Forestry Development Corporation Board, and founding co-chairman of Bhutan Water Partnership. Later, he was promoted to the Deputy Secretary of Policy Planning Division, Ministry of Agriculture. He became the Deputy Resident Coordinator of Helvetas Swiss Incorporation. He was appointed the first Minister of Agriculture and Forest in the Democratic Government of Bhutan 2 times. Dr. Pema Gyamtso was appointed the opposition leader in NAA for the 2nd legislative session and also elected as the new DPT's party president. He is currently leading research on climate change and cities. His research work focuses on climate adaptation and climate action in Indian cities. In 1990, he took Agricultural Science, Masters of Agricultural Science from New Zealand, and in 1996, he took PhD from ETH Zurich. So welcome, Dr. Pema Gyamtso. Thank you very much. We are honored by your presence. Our next panel member is Dr. A.R. Subbiah. He is the Director of Regional Integrated Multi-Hazard Early Warning System, RHIMES, Thailand. Dr. Subbiah is the Director of RHIMES, which provides strategic direction and leadership for translation of policies established by the RHIMES Council into effective and high quality programs and services that meet RHIMES member states' needs and demands. He served as reviewer of the IPCC, a special report on managing risks of extreme events and disasters to advance climate change adaptation. Dr. Subbiah held senior positions with the Government of India, involved in policy formulation and implementation of development and disaster risk reduction programs till the late 1990s. Subsequently, Dr. Subbiah held the post of Director, Climate Risk Management and Team Leader for Early Warning Systems at Asian Disaster Preparedness Center, and evolved and implemented a multi-country climate risk management program and regional multi-hazard project that eventually transformed RHIMES into RHIMES as an intergovernmental and international institution in 2009. Dr. Subbiah has 35 years of experience in disaster mitigation and management and more than 15 years of experience in his establishing multi-institutional and multidisciplinary mechanisms and building institutional capacities for generation and application of climate information at different time scales. So welcome, Dr. Subaya. Thank you very much for your presence, and we are honored very much by your presence. Our next panel member is Dr. Navansu Chattopadhyay. He is a convener of South Asia Forum on Agriculture Meteorology, SAFOM. He has about 32 years of experience in operational agromet advisory services and research in agricultural meteorology. He worked with the Commission of Agricultural Meteorology, World Meteorological Organization, and World Bank, or 20 internal visits, including World Meteorological Organization, Climate Research Unit, UK. He contributed significantly in establishment of agromet advisory services in Bangladesh, Bhutan, including India. Dr. Chattopadhyay received the best poster presentation in 89th session of the Indian Science Congress in 2000. He got Best Paper Award in National Symposium at Regional Agricultural Research Station, Patambi, Kerala, Agricultural University in 2002. He received the Best Employee Award in the department on the occasion in the celebration of 80 years of India, Meteorological Department, Pune in 2008. He got the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India Award for meritorious service in the field of atmospheric science and technology in 2008. Got the Best Paper Award for paper in the workshop on meteorological satellite Kalpana, a decade service to the nation in 2012. He got the award for the best poster presentation in Intropet in 2013. Dr. Chattopadhyay has published more than 100 research papers in peer-reviewed, reputed national and international journals. His research interests are agriculture meteorology, climate change, remote sensing, agricultural drought, extreme weather. Dr. Chattopadhyay received his MSc in agricultural chemistry and soil science and PhD in agricultural meteorology and soil science. Our next panel member is Professor Sriram Sharma. He is the president of South Asia Lightning Network, SALNet, in Kathmandu, Nepal. Professor Sriram Sharma is the principal investigator and coordinator of Atmospheric and Material Science Research Group at Department of Physics, Amrit Campus, Tribhuvan University, being supported by International Science Program, Uppsala University, Sweden. He is the chairman of Lightning and Atmospheric Research Center, Nepal. He is chairman of South Asia Lightning Network, SALNet. He is the guest scientist and resource person at the Nepal Academy of Science and Technology. He is the leader of the upgradation team of electrical code incorporating in building code under Department of Urban Development and Building Construction, Ministry of Urban Development, Government of Nepal. He is the chief facilitator of lightning protection system in Nepal. He trained over 500 engineers and technical persons across Nepal. He has organized dozens of international and national workshops, training, seminars on lightning protection, electrical safety, and other natural hazards. Professor Sriram Sharma is the Erasmus Mundus Expert for Asia Awardee 2014 for postdoctoral research. He supervised over 50 master's level students and a PhD graduate, and is currently supervising 4 PhD graduates. He authored and co-authored over 20 peer-reviewed international journals articles and over dozens of conference articles. He edited a book on lightning protection published by Astral International Private Limited, New Delhi for NAM and SNT Center. His research interests are lightning, electromagnetics, atmospheric electrodynamics, atmospheric events, climate change. Professor Sharma, he received MSc Physics from Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. In 1993, he received PhD in lightning electromagnetics from Uppsala University, Sweden, and Colombo University, Sri Lanka. He got postdoc research from Uppsala University, Sweden in 2009, 2014, and 15. So thank you very much, Professor Sharma, and we welcome you to this panel discussion. Our next panel member is Mr. Rohit Magotra. He is the Deputy Director of IRADE and South Asia Heat Health Initiative, SAHIN. Mr. Rohit Magotra is Master's in Environmental Science with advanced degree in management from IIFM Bhopal. He has 17 years plus technical managerial experience working on thematic of environment, climate change, energy, policy research, agriculture, urban development, and ICT4 development in South Asia. He is currently Assistant Director, IRADE, and leads the thematic area of sustainable urban development in IRADE. He is currently engaged in policy research, issues related to climate change and cities in South Asia. He is leading research supported by project on action plan to manage heat stress in Indian cities of Delhi, Rajkot, and Bhubaneswar. Prior to IRADE, he worked as Director in Next Retail Services Private Limited and Chief Operating Officer of Hexagon Technology. Dr. Magotra is an impact investor and recipient of prestigious award, which include Stockholm Challenge GKP Award 2007, Dell Small Business Excellence Award in 2009, NASCOM Social Innovation Honors 2010. Mr. Magotra's research interest is, he has 19 years plus experience in policy research, advocacy, consensus building, program management, setting multi-stakeholder. He is currently leading research on climate change and cities. His research work focuses on climate adaptation and climate action in Indian cities, consortiums of government, public and private sector. Mr. Magotra is Master's in Environmental Science with an advanced degree in management from IIFM Bhopal. He has authored, co-authored, contributed several national, international papers and publications related to energy policy, disaster resilience, climate resilience, public health, energy, forestry, environment, smart cities, e-governance, and SME supply chains. So thank you, Mr. Rohit Magotra, for your presence. We welcome you. Our next panel member is my good old friend, Dr. Ashish Kumar Mitra. He is the head of the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, NCMRWF, and also the BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate at Noida, Delhi, NCR region in India. Dr. Mitra has 38 years of research and operational activities in the field of weather and climate modeling, data assimilation, model verification, developing applications, preparation of graded rainfall data sets. Dr. Mitra is the university topper in BSc honors and MSc PG student fellowship during the MSc. IIT Delhi Institute of Fellowship during PhD, MOES Government of India Certificate of Merit Award received in 2012 for outstanding contribution in the field of atmospheric science and technology. He received IMS Best Paper Award in publishing papers during 2011-12 in modeling studies related to atmospheric and oceanic sciences. He was the visiting scientist to Florida State University, USA, UK Met Office, and associate editor of the Quarterly Journal of Royal Meteorological Society. Dr. Mitra has published more than 100 research papers in SCI journals. His current research interests are coupled weather climate modeling in days to season scale, monsoon studies, data assimilation, model verification, and developing applications. Dr. Mitra received PhD in ocean modeling at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and MSc in physical oceanography from Parampur University, Odisha. So thank you very much, Dr. Mitra, for your presence, and we welcome you in this panel discussion. Our next panel member is Dr. Srinivas Kumar. He is the director of Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, INCOAS. Dr. Srinivas Kumar took charge as the director of INCOAS in August 2020, working at MOES in 2004. He was responsible for implementing several important projects, including the potential fishing zone advisories, multi-hazard vulnerability mapping, coral reef bleaching alert system, SATCORE, etc. Post the 2004 tsunami, he coordinated the successful establishment of the Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center based at INCOAS. This center is identified as one of the tsunami service providers under the UNESCO IOC Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning and Mitigation Systems. Between October 2016 to August 2020, he worked with the UNESCO IOC as IOT WMS Secretariat in Perth, Australia, During this time, he was instrumental in strengthening the regional tsunami early warning system in active collaboration with 28 member states, global harmonization of tsunami watch operations, and implementation of the Tsunami Ready Community Recognition Program. Dr. Srinivas Kumar holds a PhD in marine science and made impact contributions to the field of operational oceanography and coastal multi-hazard early warning systems. So thank you very much, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, for gracing this occasion. We welcome you to the panel discussion. And finally, of course, we have our good old friend, a very distinguished person known by all of us, Dr. Lakshman Singh Rathore. He is the former Director General of India Meteorological Department, IMD, and international consultant at the World Bank. Dr. Rathore is former Director, as I said, of India, Director General of Meteorology of India Department, Ministry of Earth Sciences. He served various international bodies such as Chair, Intergovernmental Board for Climate Services, IBCS, WMO, United Nations, Vice Chair of IBCS, WMO, Permanent Representative Ambassador of India with the World Meteorological Organization, United Nations Member, Executive Council, WMO, United Nations Vice President, Commission for Agricultural Meteorology, WMO, Chairman, Governing Council, SARC, Meteorological Research Center, Dhaka, scientific member of 3rd International Scientific Expedition to Antarctica, and established the first permanent Indian station. Dr. Rathore has been bestowed with many national and international recognitions and applauds for his outstanding contribution in the field of meteorology and its application to agriculture, disaster management, including appreciations of WMO. He is also recipient of Rajasthan Science Congress Award, Sohrab Godrej Award for Science and Technology by Rotary Club, honorary professor of Amity University, Jaipur, Vigyan Ratna by Vigyan Parishad Prayag, DD Kisan Samman by Doordarshan, Maharana Mewar Award, Marwar Ratna Award, Rajbhasha Sri Puraskar, and ICHL Award, besides other awards. Dr. Rathore has published more than 100 research papers. He wrote 11 books and 41 books chapters, and participated in, he has supervised 5 PhD students from reputed institutions such as Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, Guru Jambeshwar University, Hisar, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. He made these significant contributions toward improving the weather and climate prediction, particularly extreme weather events. He played a lead role in developing agrometeorological advisory services in India. Dr. Rathore completed his master's and doctoral degree in agriculture, soil sciences from Rajasthan College of Agriculture. Thank you very much, Dr. Rathore Sahab, for gracing this occasion, and we welcome you. We would like to thank you also for your presence despite of your weak health, as I know, and thank you so much for that, being present here. I'd like to request you to moderate the panel discussions. So, Dr. Rathore, please, on to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Someshwar Das, and thank you for also introducing the panel in a very elaborate manner. What a distinguished panel and what a distinguished participants we have this evening with us. And I think combined, they are who's who in the South Asian region, and that is the strength of SAMA. And we have about 40 minutes and 8 panelists to throw light on as to what should SAMA be doing. And since Dr. U.C. Mohanty made a very eloquent presentation on the research service and capacity building of for meteorology in South Asian region, then that set the tone for today's the panelists and discussion. I would only urge upon the panelists to focus on possible role of SAMA in supplementing their mission and mandate of their institutions or wherever they are working. So that will help us prepare the roadmap for short term, medium term, and long term. And without taking much ado, I would straight away go to invite our very distinguished president of IFMS, Dr. Harinder Ahluwalia. Dr. Ahluwalia, you have the floor for next 5 minutes and to throw light on how SAMA and IFMS complement and supplement each other's efforts in the South Asian region. Over to you, Dr. Harinder Ahluwalia.
The mic is mute, sir. Dr. Ahluwalia, your mic is mute. Please unmute your mic.
Can we share the slides? I can.
Please do that.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
No,
please,
not
sir.
yet.
Yeah. No, not yet. Yeah.
Just go to screen, share screen, and
Click on
allow
share
all.
screen. Yeah.
Jeez.
Sir, could you please just share a screen and you select your file? That's all right. Permission already been given.
You cannot see my file because you have not been given.
No, permission is already there.
Okay.
For the multiple users. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yeah, coming up.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me. Good day, everybody. It's a pleasure to participate in this ceremony. As you can see, my presentation is really on collaboration. It's not moving.
Sir, could you please make the full screen mode so you can make it handle it properly? Yeah, now all right. Now all right. Now all right, sir.
We are facing a monster of global warming and climate change, and we are also interested in improving our economies. And because of that, you need accurate weather forecasting. In one case, to get out of harm's way. In the other case, to make sure that all your sectors work most effectively, because meteorology is very important aspect. We need also infrastructure in all countries, and a very important part is institutional and societal capacity to understand and act on guidance. Normally the governments are supposed to do that, but they are too busy in other things, plus limited funding. So it is better, that the volunteer-based organizations take charge of that part, or at least assist these organizations. We had World Weather Open Science Conference in 2014, in which we discussed current infrastructure, current services, and future global weather enterprise. And three things came out very loud and clear. One is no nation can handle the effects of global warming and climate change by itself. International collaboration is necessary. No sector, public, private, or academic, can do everything. Collaboration is imperative. And weather sees no boundaries, so we should have certainly infrastructure in all countries. So this can all happen through collaboration. And as the Henry Ford said, collaboration, getting together is beginning, staying together is progress, but working together is the success. Now, I believe, as Dr. Mohanty also said, it is very important for each nation to have a national meteorological society. And, individuals, members of society, and then the society member of regional, as well as IFMS activities and other society activities. For example, IMS activities or AMS activities, Royal Met activities. So as a minimum, every country can have a society, whether you are 50 people in your country in this profession, or you're 2,000 people or 5,000. So networking is one thing, presentations, what you can do at minimum is networking, presentation, get together and share information. And then all these external events which have become much easier to access because of the Zooms and web access and that kind of, so how can you create a society, no matter how big and small your country is or your professional community is, you can have an National Meteorological Society. One webinar was given by me some time ago, and another webinar just on how to create a society will be given within about 6 weeks' time, again by me. IFMS is nothing but all societies put together, and their strength is our strength. And that's what we try to share resources between each other. And it is better, when you want to create a society, you keep in touch with us and show your interest in becoming member of, for example, IFMS, your regional Met Society. And, through collaboration and interaction, several good things will happen. Some almost immediately, others with time. Here is a map of, these are all meteorological societies in each region, each of the 6 regions. Then you got regional Met societies, and we are interacting with WMO, World Bank. World Bank is assisting developing and least developed countries. And so with this, how we operate is through committees. So what we do is, for example, we want to make sure that anybody who calls himself a meteorologist has the credential. So accreditation and certification, cooperation between regional societies, cooperation with WMO, education, public and government, webinars, recognition. So all these things we do through our committees. I'm very pleased to join this celebration because SAMA, connecting 9 countries in South Asia. South Asia is very disaster prone, and all these countries with vision, mission, and laudable objectives. It's fantastic. With so many activities in the first year, so many informative webinars conducted, the future looks very bright. So the problem at hand is global warming, and working together, only we can tame this monster. No politics or differences should come in the way. You owe it to your people and to your profession. I strongly applaud SAMA, and I hope that it will assist IFMS in creation of national meteorological societies in SAMA countries, and also Asian Meteorological Society. We have European, African now, South American. Kudos to Dr. AVM Tyagi and his associates who put this SAMA together, and it is definitely going to help every country. My dreams are always bigger than those of many others, and I see also, like ECMWF, ACMWF, Asian Center for Meteorology, Medium Range Weather Forecasting. Conclusion: building modern, sustainable, and reliable infrastructure in terms of physical networks and ENT is critical for meeting rising aspirations of billions of people around the globe. And together we can do it. And this is sufficient reason you need people with conviction. One person with conviction can overwhelm 100 people with only opinions. So conviction is very, very important, and nothing is very difficult. If you want to do it, you just have to work harder. And persistence is very necessary because, as you can see, a river cuts through a rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. So we got to persist, and we will get there. It is the last mile which is difficult to travel, but then once you travel it, you find success. And that is my message. Let's create more societies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harinder Ahluwalia. And you rightly said, we came together, we are progressing together, and we are working together, so success is inevitable. Thank you very much for a very good message. And next, I take honor to invite Dr. Pema Gyamsho, who was, we all know, is DG CMOD, and we will be listening to him on as to what collaborative activities between ECMOD and SAMA could be taken, particularly for the mountainous region of South Asia. Over to you, Dr. Pema. You have the floor for next 5 minutes. Dr. Pema.
Thank you very much, Dr. Radhar. Can you hear me? Is the audio
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Actually, I can, conclude here by saying I echo everything that was said by Dr. Ahluwalia earlier. I think all these are necessary, and of course, from Professor Mohanty's presentation, all the things that we need to do have been presented already. So I'll touch a little bit on behalf of, what ICIMO, the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development, would like to see our region coming together to work on meteorology. So first of all, I would like to congratulate SAMA on the occasion of its first anniversary, the Honorable Chairperson, Professor Ajit Taigi, and all the members for completing 1 year, as well as for coming up with these creative, events and so on. So for those of
Sir,
you,
maybe there is some sound issue. Many people already mentioned them, they are not hearing. Radha sir, please.
Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it better?
Recording in progress.
Hello? Is it better? Can you hear?
Yeah,
Hello?
please bring your mic closer to your mouth. Maybe I'll speak.
Your voice is faint. Of course, we are able to hear, but we need to have a high pitch.
Right. Is this better? No.
If you remove your headphone, I think that would be better. At times, we see that with headphone, we are facing a problem.
Okay. Maybe. Let me check. Is this better? No. Still having problem? Okay, just a minute. Let me. Is this better? Can you hear me now?
Well, we can hear. I can hear at least.
Very feeble, very feeble.
You can hear, but sound is not strong enough. It is very soundless.
I request you to be closer to the microphone, and I think that should help us.
Right.
And maybe slightly louder.
Yeah. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, I will try to speak louder. So let me say that a few things about ICIMOD. ICIMOD is an intergovernmental organization that brings together the 8 countries of the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So in terms of geographical coverage, we are very similar to SAMA, except that we have China with us, because China has also a large section of the Hindu Kush Himalayas in it. So this region, our region, the HKH, is known as the pulse of the planet, and it is also referred to as the water towers of Asia. It contains the headwaters of the 10 major Asian river systems and holds the largest snow and ice deposits outside of the two poles. You may have even heard of it being referred to as the third pole. But most striking is that nearly 3 billion people, yes, that is nearly 1/3 of the world's population, depends on the food produced in the HKH river basins, as well as the water resources for energy, critical ecosystem services, riparian habitats, environmental flows, and all those associated cultural benefits. Despite the importance and the near crisis situation that the mountain region of the HKH is facing, it still lacks adequate data and information. The IPCC climate assessment reports consistently pointed out that Hindu Kush Himalaya region is a data scarce region, and even less so for crucial meteorological and hydromet data essential for climate analysis and other purposes. In response to the observations in the IPCC report, ICIMOD carried out its own assessment of the region, and in 2019 published a report that also confirms that there is a huge gap in data and information, particularly for the mountain-specific regions. Distinguished chair, panelists, ladies and gentlemen, meteorological studies in high mountain environments are crucial for our understanding of snow and glacier hydrology, which are the main sources of water for the major river basins in our region. Moreover, weather knows no borders, as Professor Aluwalia already mentions. What happens upstream very much affects those living in the downstream areas. The more frequent monsoon disasters prove that accurate meteorological forecasts and their dissemination at all levels is the need of the hour to save lives and infrastructures. In fact, this need is becoming more critical. Extreme events are on the rise, as we are seeing this year from the monsoon floods happening across the region. Investment in infrastructure is needed to increase observation density in the mountain regions where the variability is high, but the network of stations is very sparse due to limited accessibility. There is also the need to build capacities of our member countries to take advantage of upcoming and proven technologies such as assimilation of satellite data, radar, and in situ observations with numerical weather prediction model for enhanced short-term and medium-term.
Dr. Pema, to kindly conclude in next minute or so.
Right. So as an intergovernmental regional organization, ICIMOD can play a very important role in facilitating the global and regional networks of scientists for action research, build capacities of national agencies, and provide a platform for sharing knowledge, experience, and best practices. ICIMOD is already working with many agencies, with our government departments, and is also providing meteorological services, weather forecasting, and advanced warning system. Therefore, it is very much interested with SAMA and other like-minded institutes to work with them, to collaborate with them in taking the objectives of SAMA forward, because we feel that they are very much in line with our own mandate. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry for the quality of the audio. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Rathore.
Thank you very much for giving us mantra of the regional collaboration, particularly keeping ICIMOD at focus. And next, I take opportunity to invite Professor A.R. Subbiah, who is all very well known to us, is directing RHIMES. And as we know that RHIMES is already doing a lot of activities with SAMA, and he is the real strength of SAMA, and I invite Dr. Subbiah. Dr. Subbiah, you have the floor for next 5 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Professor A.R. Subbiah.
Thank you, Dr. Rathore, for inviting and allowing me to have a few words at this very important forum. I congratulate Professor Tyagi and Dr. Someshwar Das.
Could you please share your video, please, Dr. Subbiah? We would like to see you also.
There's some problem with video.
Okay.
So if you're able to hear me, that will be okay, I think.
Yeah, we can hear you, of course.
Yeah. You were able to hear me? Yeah. I will try to put my video. I am trying, but maybe it may come, it may not. Yeah. So it's a great pleasure to be with this very important meeting. And Sama has a kind of very great role to play for our activities. RIMES is now having a South Asia Hydromet Forum called SHF, where Dr. Professor Rathur also involved in very greatly in this kind of institutional mechanism supported by the World Bank. This South Asia Hydromet Forum addresses some of the issues which Professor Mohanty mentioned in his nice presentation of the vision for SAMA. So actually, RIMES works from perspective that all the end-to-end early warning system, from the observation monitoring to forecasting, into impact-based forecasting, into tailor-made services, to last mile community outreach and feedback. In all these pillars, we need a huge research support to enrich our programs. SAMA is one institutional mechanism that can provide a research support over all the pillars of RIMES programs here. We hope in the coming years we can evolve a kind of, or design a collaborative program to work with the SAMA to provide research and capacity building support to all our programs. And that's what we are hoping for, an excellent collaboration with SAMA. I think because already the time is, we are behind some time late. So with these words, I'll assure that RIMES will really work with SAMA and leverage its capacity, leverage its mechanism to enrich our programs in the years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Subbiah. Whatever activities SAMA is doing, you have a great role in those activities and great contributor. And so thank you very much for your kind contribution and assurance for future activities. Next in line, I would like to invite very distinguished agrometeorologist, Dr. Nabanshu Chattopadhyay, who is also the convener of South Asia Forum on Agriculture Meteorology. And I consider the SAFOM, which is an extended arm of SAMA, to undertake the application-oriented activities. I take liberty to invite Dr. Chattopadhyay for his kind comments. Over to you, Dr. Chattopadhyay, for the next 5 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Rathur sir, and I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Ajit Tyagi sir and Dr. Dash and other organizers for inviting me to speak in this Foundation Day. In fact, Dr. Mohanty's presentation, he has indicated SAMA's contribution into the operational aspects, particularly in agriculture. So he has already mentioned some of the roles of SAMA in agriculture. So I would like to amplify some of the concept of Dr. Mohanty, particularly in the research, capacity building, then in ICT. So all of you know that every aspect of agriculture meteorology, it is from the observation to forecasting to the application part, that all the integrated part of the services. So with this concept, actually, a dedicated knowledge platform called South Asia Forum for Agriculture Meteorology has been formed in February. And this platform is seek to share the information about the National Agromet Advisory Service and a common strategic mission and vision in adapting to and mitigation of future challenges from weather and climate, which I was emphasizing in different sectors of agriculture. I mean, whenever, I was talking about that research capacity building and also that ICT, even also that weather hazards. In all aspects, we will appreciate the SAMA's contribution into that aspect. As far as the capacity building is concerned, all the South Asian region, particularly in agro-meteorological field, they are behind. All are not in the same level. So one of the initiative of SAFOM will be that to take a common platform and giving the common kind of information like that. And second is that the research areas, which is may not be possible to elaborate, but one thing is that we are focusing on the collaborative research program involving SAMA, even also RIMES, even also other organized regional organizations, SASCOP also, to give this kind of capacity building into different forms. And another aspect is very, very important, that is educational aspects. In South Asian countries, though in India we are in a very better shape, but in South Asian countries, they don't have the manpower for giving that agromet services. So what we are focusing, that we are going to establish the agromet course curriculum into different agriculture universities, so that this meteorological information, agriculture information, they can well equipped and they can give these services. And my last point is that South Asia is very, very vulnerable to extreme events, all of you know. And still today, we have achieved something, but there is a long way to go to address all these extreme events, from drought, flood to heat wave, to, cold wave, and also hailstorm, etc. So we want to make some kind of program with SAMA to build a kind of training program, and also some kind of extension program, some kind of farmers program, so that we can, from that meteorological aspects to the ground level, we can manage these extreme events. And lastly, what are the efforts? Still, SAFOM is in a developing stage, and we want to integrate with, what I already mentioned, all the regional, global, even also WMO is interested into to be part of this SAFOM activity, and also the World Bank also. So with all these things, which I was concluding that at present, whatever the initiative has been taken as a knowledge platform, SAFOM itself, and in collaboration with SAMA, RIMES, and other SASCOP platform, it is very encouraging, and all the proposed strategies in collaboration will be the mandate of the SAFOM. And lastly, the growth of discipline of agrometeorology, all the member countries in South Asia will be enhanced, and SAFOM will serve as a model for regional cooperation in the rest of the world, in collaboration with SAFOM and other regional and global. So we are looking forward to all of you to work together collectively, so that ultimately the unprivileged and unreached farmers in the South Asia could get the benefit by the joint efforts of SAFOM, SAMA, and others. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chattopadhyay. And the intra-regional cooperation is the mantra, but SAMA is extending and exploring collaboration beyond the region, and the presence of Harinder Ahluwalia, who's doing a global collaboration, and also the today's meeting's presence of Buruhani from Tanzania, who was with WMO, and who also expressed that his wish to collaborate with SAMA, between SAMA and African region, is also a very positive development. So thank you very much, Dr. Chattopadhyay. We look forward for a very brighter application in conjunction with SAFOM. And next, I take opportunity to invite Professor Sriram Sharma, who is president of South Asia Lightning Network, SALNet, which is all very well known. And what a distinguished fellow he is and his contribution. It will be really a very pleasure for all of us to listen to you, Professor Sharma. Professor Sharma, you have the floor for next 5 minutes. Over to you, Sharma.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rato, for the kind invitation and introduction. I'm so much honored and privileged today to be here with this platform. And I would first of all like to congratulate Professor Tyagi and Professor Das for completing one successful year on SAMA's founding and then whole SAMA team. As lightning is one of the integral part of meteorology, we are together since we got to know each other. We have been following each other very well, and we are aware of each other's program. So I take this opportunity to congratulate both of you and whole team to organize for organizing such wonderful events in the days in the past days, and then your future course. Now, I would like to add on, although echoing with what the previous speakers told or panelists told, I would like to emphasize on the regional and inter-institutional collaboration with each other. Of course, we have been collaborating, though we have not physically been doing much, but on various programs such as organizing lightning resilient South Asia and meteorological World Environment Day and blah blah blah. Apart from that, we need to have a collaboration on research activities that Professor Das have already been talking about in several previous meetings we had together. So one of the challenges we have with us in this region is that we don't have a very precise or near to precise early warning system in the perspective of natural hazards like lightning and other hazards. So to do research on modeling, this is one of the emphasis I would like to give today, that we need to have a very precise modeling for the mountainous region or the region that we have with the very rugged terrain. So for that, we need to have a research collaboration among each other. SALNet is always ready with this collaboration. And to tell you, share you with the good news that we have already started a regional collaboration at Amrit campus where we can invite the students from meteorology, engineering, or elsewhere to research on the lightning activities in association with the meteorological phenomenon and atmospheric phenomenon and ionospheric phenomenon as well. So that we have already started, and we have received some support from Uppsala University, as I am the principal investigator of that program. In the meantime, while we have all these professional institutes like ECMOD, regional institutes like ECMOD, RIMES, and so, I would request all the representatives from those institutes to support the research activities in this region and for the collaborative work together with the SAMA, SALNet, and other institutions. While saying so, what challenges I see in collaboration or particularly retaining students in our region is that we have lack of funding from various, government as well as non-governmental organizations. So it is very hard to retain the students or young researchers in the developing countries. They always opt to go to the developed nations. So these are this is one of the challenges, and another challenge is that lack of state-of-the-art technological facilities along in this region. So that I think some institutions can lend their helping hand, a supporting hand to develop the research institutes in this region. And also, we have been facing, particularly my personal experience is that our industries in this region don't have much interest in investigating, or they don't want to do much funding on research and development. That is one of the problems. So we have to try to encourage the industries to in engaging them in research and development. And also, I would like to request all the INGOs, NGOs to support the collaborative work between the regional centers or networks or whatever we have together. And I take this opportunity to thank Professor Mohanty for his wonderful presentation. I don't have much to tell on the regional cooperation. Yes, it is the need of the day. And finally, I would like to express my gratitude and thankfulness to the organizer, Professor Tyagi, Professor Das, for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Sharma, for assuring us your fullest cooperation in this very important upcoming area, which is causing major fatality and casualties. And lightning is emerging as a bigger threat than other natural disaster phenomena. And but the good side is that different countries are coming with better observational network for monitoring lightning beside radar and satellite. The ground stations are also being set up with funding agencies support by various countries. So therefore, there is a good future for R&D, but at the same time, the role of SAMA beside R&D, as Professor Mohanty emphasized, the services. We need to develop apps and kind of products which can be immediately disseminated to the end user. We would be working towards that, and I would urge upon you to kindly help us preparing a roadmap for short and medium term on this particular aspect, which we will do in subsequent timings. Thank you very much once again. And with that, I would take privilege to invite our next speaker, who is again very important sector, the health, and the prominent speaker is Rohit Magotra, who is working with IRADE and has done a wonderful job in developing South Asia Heat Health Institute, SAHIN. Over to you, Dr. Rohit, and you have the floor for next 5 minutes. Dr. Magotra.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity, and it's a great pleasure to see the journey of SAMA in the last 1 year, and it has been a stellar journey. I follow the way the association has grown over a period of years. So my congratulations again. So SAHIN is a South Asia Heat Health Information Network, and this platform is also recently established. And the idea of this platform is to, again, you share, deliberate, learn, and dissemination of the heat, how we can tackle heat stress together through preparedness and planning. And that's the purpose of SAHIN. So we are looking at like how do we engage with other South Asian countries to spread awareness about the heat stress, the impacts of heat stress, the mitigation and adaptation strategies. And throughout this journey, we have been lucky to get support from both IMD as well as the Professor Tyagi in guiding and setting up this network. So through this network, we are also engaging both in capacity building as well as research activities. And we had a wonderful collaboration with the SAMA. We did together a webinar on heat waves in South Asia on the World Environment Day, and we are looking forward to more such collaboration. And it's a highly complementary network to when we look at SAHIN and SAMA. While our particular work is focused on how do we address heat waves, right from the point of view of research to the capacity building, and so across the South Asia. So we always find there is a complementarity in our work, and we always are keen to engage with SAMA. In terms of capacity building, we are conducting some master classes also, where we are looking at how do we enhance the capacity of the South Asian countries to develop the heat action plans. And as a part of this capacity building program, we in every quarter we have a series of workshops. Even in this quarter, in August, September, we are looking at 3 master classes on the climate adaptive heat action plans, the early warning systems for heat stress management, and heat stress threshold for Indian cities. Because not much work has been done, both in terms of the mitigation and the adaptation side of it. So we need to collectively work to develop awareness and also strengthen the early warning systems and also the capacity building of the health sector in particular to address this issue of heat stress, which is actually a great disruptor, not only just to human health, but also to our economy. So there is again rising incidents of heat waves across the globe, and South Asia is no exception. Like a tremendous volume of work has been done in India, and a large number of cities have now heat action plans. But again, we need to take this further work done in India to other South Asian countries and also learn from what they have been doing. So our aim is to take this work and also to work on a lot of capacity building issues. We have a news mailer, which is which is a 3 edition old now. We launched in June. It's a fortnightly news mailer. And this news mailer covers the various news which are related to heat stress, and that's where we also we would like that we kind of develop a collaboration so that SAMA partners also receive the same. While one of our key objective is that how do we develop the climate adaptive heat action plans to manage heat stress, and as I said that again we need to work together on these components where we are able to produce the evidence in terms of climatology, how summers are becoming hotter or the number of heat days are increasing, and that's important that we receive support and also work in collaboration with SAMA, with such an experienced network of the meteorologists. So we would like to take this partnership further in capacity building as well as awareness of the South Asian countries. We also find that the awareness related to the heat is much lesser in the South Asian countries. So that's where we want to engage more on working with the city, state, and national governments to develop these heat action plans. As I said that health sector we would like to have a lot of engagement. We found very interesting and result based outcomes while we engaged with the hospitals and health administration when we provided them the short, medium, and long-term forecast, so they are able to prepare the hospitals as well as the health centers better. I think it is very important that early warning reaches to these hospitals who have a very important role in managing the heat stress. And we are also finding that they are very receptive and open to receive such support from the meteorological services. So moving forward, I think it's a win-win situation. While we will say that we are kind to like take the heat stress work further, both from the awareness and mitigation adaptation point of view, working with the local partners in East South Asian countries, as well as working with the governments. So we are looking forward to a continuous engagement and support from SAMA in guiding and also enhancing our outreach through its partners to take this further in South Asian countries. And we're happy to support SAMA in any way we could do that. With these words, I again thank you and congratulations, SAMA.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit Bagotra, for reassuring us of your fullest cooperation. And you rightly mentioned that the heat rise is omnipresent and is impacting the multiple sectors. So it is not only the health sector, but food security, water and industry and all other energy sector. So therefore, what is needed is that, because you rightly mentioned that awareness, capacity building and information dissemination, these are three areas which we can, because more the number of institutions and organizations working in these aspects, addressing these aspects, better the issue we can handle in the South Asian region. So there is a room for everyone to complement efforts of each other in this particular aspect. And thank you very much for your reassurance. We will prepare a roadmap and then we'll take it forward. And with this, I now take opportunity to invite Dr. Ashish Kumar Mitra, who is head of National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting and also the BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate. My old colleague, I have been with NCMR WF like Someshwar Das. The BIMSTEC is really, so also NCMR WF is generating a lot of products, and how SAMA can take those products, and especially not only the forecast and warning products, but also the capacity building issues. We would like to listen from you, Dr. Mitra. Over to you for next 5-6 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Rathod, for introducing, and it's great to see all our old friends and colleagues in this forum. So, first of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Professor Tyagi, Professor Das, and all the office bearers of SAMA and the members. I think in last 1 year, what has been done is tremendous. And congratulations to SAMA team. And today, Professor Mohanty has already given a great talk, what we are discussing in this panel, that what are the aspects, what we should do. So beyond that, I just thought some points. See, for example, this now SAMA is appearing as a new force to keep us motivated. See, we need a lot of motivation to keep on doing good work in our path. So this SAMA is definitely motivating. A lot of people are joining in this webinar meeting. And as proposed, I think in future years, a lot of research and consultancy and training program it will take. So it's a great effort, and it's I'm able to see that in future it's going to grow much bigger. So I come from NCMR WF, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, which is doubling as the BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate. So as Dr. Ahluwalia was suggesting in his last slide that we need a SCM WF. In fact, let me remind everybody, with the concept of ECMWF, this NCMWF was started 30 years back. And we have traveled a long journey. Dr. Das, Dr. Rathod were part of this. And what we have today, another panelist, Dr. Sriram was saying that we should have a state-of-art modeling system, and a lot of research is required. So let me assure that at NCMWF, we have been maintaining the top HPC supercomputers, and we do a lot of satellite data assimilation, and we are at par with any other modeling center in the world. So I'm very proud of that. And so we can interact and collaborate, and you just see what we are producing. We do modeling from very meter scale to the coupled model in the climate scale. And as Dr. Tyagi introduced in the beginning, very recently we have released a data set, IMDA, Regional Reanalysis, which is becoming popular. So we want more and more people in this region should use the data set, and we are here to help everybody. And another thing is from the Ministry of Earth Sciences, from our modeling center, 2 data sets are being shared with TIGI Forum, a 12-kilometer ensemble data set from 2 models. You can see it in the TIGI. And there is a requirement of using that data. So from the South Asian universities, hydromet departments, and a lot of institutes, I think we have to start using this TIGI products. And there is a new product which is going to come, is the sub-seasonal to seasonal prediction, which is done at IITM Pune and also in NCMWF. So very soon this data will be available in the ECMWF forum. So whatever we can do from NCMWF to help everybody and associate to using that data, we are open to that. And regarding some of the specific points, I just noted down 4 points which you can do immediately in association with the National Hydromet departments or the universities of the region or young students, or maybe some discussion was there about funding by private companies. So in India now, the public-private partnership is in a big way coming up, and we have seen private companies are now coming to India. In last 5 years, it has changed dramatically, and they have opened offices, and I am sure they will be putting money in research in coming months and years. So what appears to me, these 4 points I want to very briefly tell, it has been already told, that capacity building. We have huge talent and experienced scientists, retired scientists, and working scientists. We can make a pool and organize trainings, workshop for training younger people. That's one of the things. And the second thing I will suggest, that we have used huge amount of resources, supercomputer power and modeling data assimilation to create highest resolution ensemble modeling, both global and regional. We have 12-kilometer global ensemble product, 4-kilometer regional ensemble product. So you would like to work with many agencies, institutes, hydromet departments, even private partners, how to make use of this ensemble forecasting to convey the uncertainty. Until now, we have been doing deterministic forecast, but it's already more than 4 to 5 years in India. We are doing this ensemble prediction, which is as good as, or I will tell in terms of resolution, is better than many other developed countries. So I will encourage people to come forward and join this, how to interpret this forecast in terms of probability and give an uncertainty tag. And the last one is, we are very, we know our weather system, synoptic system in the South Asia region. But what I am seeing that we have a lot of good models, but how to convey this to the forecasters and end users. So there is an area to cooperate there. We have to make some modules and that last mile connectivity of interpreting this numerical model output for the forecasters, for the end users. So these 4 areas, I think, if we take up, and definitely from NCMWF or from our Ministry of Earth Sciences, we can collaborate. Thank you, Dr. Rathod. So I wish all the best to Sama in coming days, and we'll be cooperating with whatever is required. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitra. Thank you very much for underlining these 4 points. And we are really giving too much focus on conveying the certainty, that is predictability, but we have really lost track of conveying the uncertainty, which is equally important. And thank you for underlining all those aspects. Thank you. And at the end, I take opportunity to invite Dr. Srinivas Kumar, who is director of INCOIS. And INCOIS, as we all know, is a live wire for ocean information in the South Asian region, and doing a very brilliant job in the entire South Asia for not only tsunami-related warnings, but a lot of information, oceanic information, is being generated by INCOIS and being used by all the member countries. And we really look forward for, because ocean atmosphere are equally important and interlinked, and so large number of activities are required to be undertaken. And as I mentioned earlier, more the number of agencies working together better it is. And SAMA would like to contribute along with INCOIS in this direction. And we are very eager to listen to Dr. Kumar on his idea about this possible collaboration in future. Over to you, Dr. Srinivas.
Thank you very much, Rathod Saab, Professor Tyagi, Professor Mohanty, Dr. Das, fellow panelists and participants. It's a real pleasure to be here, an oceanographer among so many distinguished meteorologists. Thank you very much for having me here. And then on behalf of INCOIS, MOES, I would like to congratulate SAMA on the occasion of the first Foundation Day. As Rathod Saab already very lucidly mentioned what INCOIS does. INCOIS is one among a very handful of centers globally, which is a dedicated center for ocean services, in fact. So we deal with operational oceanography. We work on ocean observations, ocean modeling, ocean information and advisory services. So what Mitra Saab in NCMWF and then Mohapatra Saab in IMD do to the atmosphere, INCOIS does to the weather. Of course, we all work very collaboratively and closely. So nationally, some of the services that INCOIS provides include tsunami early warning services. We work with 25 member states in the Indian Ocean region, including several SAMA member states, which are maritime member states, I would say. Then we provide something called potential fishing zone advisory services, coral bleaching alerts, oil spill trajectories, search and rescue information, coastal vulnerability information, ocean data services, etc. And these services, like the weather services, they have immense socioeconomic benefit to a wide range of stakeholders. In fact, some of the agencies that we work with include, of course, the communities, coastal communities, the fishermen. We work with Navy, Coast Guards, the India Met Department, of course, very closely with IMD, ports and harbors, and academia. Now, that's the nationally what we do. And then regionally, of course, we work very closely with other agencies, intergovernmental frameworks such as the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission. We are part of the IOC, you're all part of the WMO. And then we actually are also working with the regional collaborating agencies like RIMES, for example, UNESCAP, IORA. And then we work very closely with some member states which are maritime, like Bangladesh, Maldives, Myanmar, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So oceans, now the importance of oceans in understanding our weather, climate, that is actually increasing now over the past decade. It's actually something that has been increasing, importance of oceans. And I think that is something where SAMA can really help, enhancing the advocacy of oceans in, our understanding of the weather and climate systems. So that's something that I would like to say right away. And then a couple of things that the previous distinguished panelists have already covered, which I would like to mention here, is actually our collaborations that are needed in ocean observing systems and data management systems. For example, in the Met community, meteorological observations are more or less taken as operational. It's granted, you need them. Countries understand this. But then ocean observing systems, which are very important for weather and climate, they're still actually considered as research kind of networks. Now, this is something which we need to change. We need actually countries to invest in ocean observing systems because they eventually enhance the weather and climate system, our forecasting, our capabilities. So this is something which I would like to mention here. INCOIS does a lot of work on ocean observing. And then this is something we need actually other countries in the region. Of course, there are a lot of countries that also contribute to ocean observing, but I think we need to enhance that advocacy. And of course, the data, again, a lot of speakers, Mohanty Saab spoke about the data. Now, INCOIS acts as the regional oceanographic data center for the entire Indian Ocean region. We are happy to share the data as per the data exchange protocols of the IODE of the UNESCO. Now, this is something I would encourage SAMA to kind of advocate, where we actually exchange data, both atmospheric and ocean data, which happens in India. For example, we exchange data amongst the ocean and atmosphere communities for modeling, etc., validation of our products. But this is something which we can also advocate. So observing systems and data management. Now, next thing is actually early warning and services. Again, several speakers talked about it. So we provide, for example, INCOIS works with RIMES and works with, for example, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mozambique, Seychelles, Madagascar, Comoros to provide ocean state forecast products like wave alerts, and all those kind of things, currents, etc. Now we provide oil spill information. So I think this is something which again SAMA could advocate. How can we come up with, the agencies come up with, where there is no dedicated ocean center, the National Hydrological Meteorological Services, their capacities can be enhanced to handle multi-hazard early warning products, especially for the coastal products. So this is something I think SAMA could really contribute. And then enhancing the awareness, for example, drills, doing those drills. Finally, you can have a very good product, but unless people are capable of understanding, receiving, and reacting appropriately to a product, to an early warning product, it doesn't really result in a good outcome. So this is something I think capacity building, awareness, and then something called Tsunami Ready is a good thing that we have implemented in India. It's an IOC UNESCO concept. It's like the weather ready communities. I think Tsunami Ready communities. I think this is something again we need to work with along with our communities. Is something I would see a role for SAMA. Where if, for example, if what we advocate here, we did it in 2 communities in Odisha, which is a very progressive state in uptake of disaster management. And then if they're ready for a tsunami, meet all those indicators, then they are actually practically ready for anything, because tsunami is such a short fuse event. So that is something I wanted to mention, capacity development. And then the last point I have is, in capacity development, is the regional training programs. Of course, there is the BIMSTEC Center, etc. Now, INCOIS also has something called International Training Center for Operational Oceanography. This is only one of the 2 Category 2 UNESCO training centers in the entire Indian Ocean region. So we have capacity to train people and researchers for the entire Indian Ocean region. In the past year, for example, even during COVID, we trained people online from 85 countries, about 2,500 trainees. And when the COVID goes away, hopefully soon, we'll be able to host people at our center, where we have a very good training facilities, accommodation facilities, etc. Now, this is something which we could kind of collaborate with SAMA and other member states, where we can actually do joint collaborative training programs in oceans and atmosphere, integration, combined, coupled modeling, etc. Last one, now upcoming regional initiatives, there is this big initiative by the IOC UNESCO. WMO is a big part of it. It's called the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development from 2021 to 2030, which has already been launched. And then I think SAMA and several regional organizations, they could become stakeholders in this huge initiative, where we can actually have observations and everything else to enhance our understanding of the oceans and sustainable management of the oceans, reaching the SDG goals by 2030. So I'll stop there, and then thank you for your patient hearing, and thank you, Rathod sir.
Thank you very much for showing us the pathway for chalking out recommendations on particularly 3 aspects related to community engagement related to oceanic services, and also capacity building and the advocacy. We would definitely take up these 3 recommendations in our charter and further them very much in association with INCOIS and other agencies. Thank you very much for giving us a very good pathway. And with that, we complete today's panel discussion. And I really would like to mention that Dr. Ajit Tyagi and Dr. Someshwar Das saw a dream a year ago, and that became the dream of all of us. And I think we would definitely, when we see that dream together, it has a different dimensions, and it proliferate like anything, and it is proliferating. In last 1 year, we have undertaken so much of activities, and it has now really founded so well, and a good launch pad is available. And today's panel discussion has given us very good guidance for preparing our recommendations, which could be possibly taken up in next year or so. And with that, I really thank Dr. Ajit Tyagi, Someshwar Das, and all other organizing team for giving opportunity to entire panel and me to share our thoughts. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Someshwar Das.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rathod Saab, for conducting this panel discussion very smoothly with your brilliant ideas. I'd also like to thank all the panel members for their precious suggestions which they have given to us, and we would compile all those suggestions into the proceedings and try to act upon that. So thank you very much for all these things. We are running behind the schedule by about 50 minutes, about probably 1 hour, I should say. So I will try to proceed quickly to the next agenda item, which is the comments from the advisory committee members of SAMA. And I'll try to invite the advisory committee members from the countries alphabetically. I hope all of them are present here. So starting with Afghanistan, I'd like to invite Mr. Syed Reza Musavi and Mr. Nasim Muradi. Are they there? Are you there? Mr. Musavi and Mr. Muradi? Probably they are not here. So I'd like to move on to the next country alphabetically, Bangladesh, and I would like to invite the remarks from the advisory committee members of Bangladesh, Dr. Samrendra Karmakar and Professor Diwan Abdul Qadir. I hope both of them are here. Dr. Karmakar, are you there?
Yeah, I am here, Dr. Dash.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much.
Just a minute. I'd like to request you to confine the remarks in about 2 or 3 minutes because we are running late.
2 or 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Yeah.
So, greetings from Bangladesh. Actually, today is the foundation day of SAMA. SAMA has completed 1 year. Okay, and that was wonderful. We are very happy to see that SAMA tried to, follow the objectives, 5 objectives, which was on which it was established. And today, actually, the discussion on the, I must say, the research services, capacity building, that is the cooperation in meteorology regionally by Professor Mohanty. It was very, very interesting, and that will improve, I think, the knowledge of the professionals of this region, and they'll be able to give better forecast and prediction. And this summer, I think, try to conduct a number of webinars on observation of World Ozone Day, then heat waves seminar on the restoration of Himalayan ecosystem, and other meetings also. And these are actually very successful events of SAMA. I must praise Dr. Tyagi, the president or chairman of SAMA, and the convener, Dr. Das, and the background scientists, especially EST members, who had very hard work to run this SAMA for last 1 year. And I think this is a very good platform for regional cooperation on different aspects, which is already narrated by Professor Mohanty. I must say that this is really wonderful cooperation platform on meteorology, so that the meteorologists will be able to give a better forecast and improve their knowledge in future. And it is very important to mention that SAMA has been done for the last 1 year, practically without any monetary help from the members of the country, I must say. So far, my knowledge goes. In this respect, I wish to thank the chairman, Dr. Tyagi, and the convener, Dr. Das, along with the scientists who are very much related with the running of SAMA. So I wish long live Sama. Sama, Dirghodibi Ho. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karmakar, sir, for your nice remark. Is Dr. Kadir there? Dr. Kadir, are you available? If not, then we move on to the next country, Bhutan. I'd like to invite Mr. Karma Dupchu and Dr. Singhe Dorji from Bhutan, the Honorable Advisory Committee members from Bhutan. So are you there, Mr. Dupchu or Mr. Singhe Dorji? Probably not. So I'd like to move to the next country in alphabetical order, India. And we have already been listening to Dr. Rathore, but I would like to listen to Dr. Mahapatra if he is there, the current Director General of Meteorology of IMD. Dr. Mahapatra, yes, please.
Yeah, good evening, namaskar. At the outset, I congratulate Sama on this Foundation Day. I express my heartiest congratulations to Professor Tyagi, Professor Das, and all the executive members, advisory board members, and the distinguished members of Sama. So to fit the occasion, today has been a very excellent webinar, commencing with an excellent presentation by Professor U.C. Mohanty. I am really indebted personally, and on behalf of the members also, I feel that he has clearly brought out the various aspects of collaborations, partnership within the platform of Sama for extending the services in this crucial sector and in this crucial region of South Asia. It has been followed up by a very active panel discussion by the eminent members from different countries. It has helped to exchange the views with respect to the existing status of the knowledge, capacity building, and also the scope for further improving the platform for benefiting in this regard. Dr. Les Rathore Saab, as the chairman of this panel discussion, has really brought out the cream out of the discussion, and he has also laid out the future path. What should Sama do? So on this occasion, I feel myself as a beneficiary by being associated with this occasion. I'll just mention here that a good beginning has been made by this platform during past 1 year, and I am sure that it will proceed in this direction, even though as a young society, to achieve much higher than the other organizations. If we look at this South Asian region, there is a lot of diversity with respect to weather and climate. At the same time, also, it is a promising region as all the countries in this region are developing with respect to the infrastructure in terms of the observations, modeling, forecasting, communications, early warning, disseminations. But to carry out all these things, capacity building is very much essential. And for capacity building, networking is the key word. And networking among the scientists, networking among the organizations, networking among the NGOs in this region will certainly help for introducing the new methodology, for adapting the new tools and technology, and for implementing the new ideas and opportunities, and going for innovation in this field. And at the same time, be in contemporary as far as the world moves on for monitoring of various disasters in view of climate change. This region is not also proof from the impact of climate change, and it is also experiencing various impacts in terms of extreme weather. So therefore, this Sama has a quite challenging opportunity, which can be explored further in years to come to help the people finally through various platforms, various collaborations, and networking among ourselves. I wish all the members of SAMA under the active leadership of Professor Tyagi and Professor Das, a huge success in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahapatra, for very kind words about the SAMA and your suggestions to how to go about. Now, I'd like to invite once again Dr. Rathore as a member of the advisory committee. He has been talking as a moderator of the panel discussion, but I'd like to invite him now as a member of the advisory committee from India. Dr. Rathore, are you there?
Thank you very much. Just a very quick comment, and I would like to place on record on behalf of SAMA the patronage of Dr. M. Rajivan, the former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, who just superannuated a couple of days ago, who has always been forthcoming to support all the activities of SAMA, and also the support of Government of India, which we have been getting, and the kind presence of DGIMD, Director, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, and Director in COIS in this today's discussion is a reflection of the keenness of Ministry of Earth Sciences, in particular, to augment or to further the activities of SAMA and work in tandem with SAMA to further the cause of service to the society and people of South Asia. I would restrict my comment only to that, with thanks to Professor Rajivan and all the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rathore Saab. Your words are always motivating and inspiring us. Thank you so much. I would like to invite the next country in alphabetical order, as Maldives. The advisory committee members from Maldives are Mr. Ali Sarif and Mr. Ahmad Rasid. So Mr. Ali Sarif and Mr. Ahmad Rasid, are you there? From Maldives? Perhaps they are not there. So I'd like to move on to the next country, Myanmar, and I'd like to invite the two advisory committee members from Myanmar, Mr. Kyaw Mo Wu and Mr. Kyaw Lwin Wu. So are you there, Dr. Wu?
Yes, I'm here.
Please. Like, yeah.
Yeah, honorable scientists, member of SAMAS, and panelists, senior experts, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the Director General of GMH Myanmar and its member, we are very proud to participate today auspicious anniversary of the SAMA Fascia Foundation. As a member of SAMA, we hope that one of good opportunities by regional cooperation will strongly support to our strengthening on improvement of weather, water, and climate service projects and our research activity. We would like to thanks to Chair of SAMA's Professor Draghi and Professor Des and all other technical support team for close communication and kindly cooperation. We wish many more successful milestones of SAMA activities, and we will try to participate and enhance more cooperation. Congratulations, SAMAs, and thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kyaw Lwin Wu, for your very kind remarks. Now we move on to the next country, Nepal, and I'd like to invite Professor Suresh Raj Chalise and Dr. Assist for the honorable members of the advisory committee of SAMA from Nepal. So, Professor Chalise, please. Your mic is mute. Please unmute your mic, please. Professor Chalise, your mic is mute. Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. It has been an wonderful session, and I think we have all reasons to be happy with the progress that SAMA has made. So much of goodwill, so much of words of support, and so much of guidance and advices, including the area for future collaboration. I think this is just overwhelming, and it speaks volumes about what was dreamed by Professor Tyagi and you yourself, Dr. Das, and also the executive committee of SAMA. I think I would like, on behalf of, as a member of the advisory committee, I would very much like to thank also most of the panelists who have given us so much encouraging words of support for future activities. Now I think that there is also a challenge. There is so much of expectation, and there are so many areas in which the offer of collaboration has come. So how to maintain it? And with that, I would say congratulations to all, and thank you for those who have offered words of support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Talisa, for your kind words and very valuable guidance. Now I would like to invite Dr. Madan Lal Sresh, the second member of the advisory committee from Nepal. Dr. Sresh, please.
Thank you, Dr. Someshwar Das. I think it is the day to rejoice. I would say that I think this SAMA has become an effective platform to enhance the science of meteorology in helping the society at large. You know, I see many long-time friends and also the new young friends. I'm privileged to be the member of the advisory committee. So it is just 1 year, but much more fruitful time has been spent engaging in meeting and discussions before in realizing this day and establishing SAMA. So on this day, when we are celebrating the anniversary, we have Professor Yusi Boante, our friend, delivering the comprehensive presentations on the meteorological science and its recommendations for the further development. And so likewise, I think we have a very distinguished panelists in the panel discussions, and we hear their views and their insights with their promises, along with the informations in their respective organizations, I think, which are very important, and definitely which will certainly play important role in the upliftment of SAMA. I think, nevertheless, I think I'm really happy to see Dr. Rathore excellently conducting that panel discussions. And so much information and products are available in the region, as we hear from the panelists and as well as from the other members. So let's make use of these data and the products for further research, to do these research activities. As Rathore Sahab has mentioned, there are challenges. Of course, there are many challenges, and much more will come in the future. But with the concerted effort from all the members, I'm confident that I think we will overcome these challenges. And so with very short remarks, I would like to thank Dr. Ajit Tyagi and Dr. Someshwar Das for their relentless work. I think even from the initial stage of discussion in envisaging this SAMA. So I feel very happy to be a part of SAMA and to see the activities that it has conducted within this very short span of 1 year. It is amazing. So I think, with these activities, I'm sure, I think the SAMA will go ahead very nicely and move to a very new dimensions. So my best wishes and confidence, and the confidence that with the concerted effort from all the scientists from the regions, I think SAMA will move ahead to greater heights. And thank you very much. And best wishes to SAMA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shrestha, for your very kind remarks. Now we move on to the next country in alphabetical order, and that is Pakistan. We have Dr. Kumarat Jaman Chaudhary and Dr. Muhammad Hanif, the members of the advisory committee from Pakistan. Probably Dr. Kumarat Jaman Chaudhary was there in the beginning, but he had some other meeting, so he is not there. But I hope Dr. Muhammad Hanif Saab is there. Dr. Muhammad Hanif Saab, are you there? Probably he is not. But we also have the nominee of the Director General of Pakistan Meteorological Department, and he was there in the beginning. I hope he is still there. Mr. Syed Mustaq Ali Shah, Chief Meteorologist from Pakistan Meteorological Department. Mr. Shah, are you there? So unfortunately, perhaps he is also not available. Then we move on to the next country, that is Sri Lanka, and we have got the two advisory committee members from Sri Lanka, Mr. Sunil Karyavasam and Mrs. Anusa R.P. Varna Surya. They were there at the beginning. I hope they are still there. So I'd like to invite Mr. Karyavasam to present his remarks. Mr. Karyavasam, please.
Thank you and good evening to all participants and the organizers. And actually, it's a very happy day for us, for SAMA. Being a advisory committee, I can remember just 1 year before. I think it was the untiring effect of Professor Tyagi and Professor Somesh, who started this thing, this SAMA, and gave all the ideas and so on. And in fact, we were able to establish SAMA 1 year back. In fact, with the COVID, we have the new dimensions of communications. With this, I think we were able to have the much more deliberations and much more discussions for SAMA to work, I think, quite easily. Otherwise, the force just something like physical communication is with today's program. I'm very much happy with the Professor Mohanty gave, and the other panel members also gave a lot of ideas for SAMA to move with, the future. And also with this, SAMA could produce, I think, a lot of collaborating, help for the collaboration of the all scientists in the region, and as well as the promote the meteorology education among universities. I think with this new dimensions of communications, the lecturers can also participate from various countries to the other universities as well. So with that, I conclude my remarks. Thank you very much indeed for all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Karyavasam, for your very kind remarks. And now I would like to invite the second advisory committee member from Sri Lanka, Mrs. Anusa Varna Surya, to deliver her remarks. Mr.
Thank you very much, Dr. Das. Yeah. First, I would like to congratulate to SAMA. Just past one fruitful year.
Please switch on your video, please, Mr. Anusa. We would like to see you also.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Actually, it's amazing. It's a 1 year, but you have done a very good job and amazing the results. Actually, this is a very good platform because it is very helpful us to share the knowledge, especially as Dr. Mahopatra mentioned, there is a very diversity in weather and climate in the Indian Ocean. So, and also meteorologists always updating subject. This is very good platform, and we were able to get the good knowledge because you organized the variety of the seminars which is related to the interesting subject in meteorology, and also we are able to get the the knowledge with the team members, the retired, very experienced meteorologists there. So it's very, I think our all countries benefited from that. And also, I think with the panel members, the recommendation, we also would like to expect some capacity building and fill our gaps, and also the regional research collaborations. So with that, I think that we also would like to highlight this importance for our regional countries. With that, thank you very much, Dr. Das and Professor Das and Dr. Tagi. So inviting in Sri Lanka to join with that seminar, and thank you very much. I wish all the success for the Sama. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Anusa Varnasurya, for your very kind remarks. And we have also two institutional representatives who are the advisory committee members of SAMA. One is from the RIMES, another is from the AC mode. So I'd like to invite first from the RIMES, Dr. Govinda Rajulu Srinivasan. Dr. Srinivasan, are you there? Perhaps he is not there. So I'd like to invite Dr. Ghulam Rasool from AC mode, who is also the advisory committee member of SAMA. Dr. Ghulam Rasool, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, Dr. Ghulam Rasool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Das. This is a great day. We are celebrating the first anniversary of SAMA. So on one hand, this is a very important day for us that we have taken this initiative together, and we have a very productive 1 year. On the other hand, we are co-designing and co-developing our future pathways. Today's discourse is on different common issues, which we have heard from our worthy panelists and so many international organizations who will be working together with SAMA, extending cooperation in different technical and societal fields. So this will be a great initiative. Congratulations to all the founding members and the young team members who have made concerted effort. But I would like to especially congratulate Professor Das and Professor Ajit Tyagi, whose untiring efforts have made this success, and we are celebrating this first anniversary of SAMA with a great success. So this is really commendable effort, and we are looking forward in future. I think we will get more cooperation from our partnering organizations and also from member countries. I'm sorry Pakistan is not responsive today. Dr. Chaudhary was there initially, and then Mushtaq Ali Shah was there. Perhaps due to the length of this meeting, they are tired and they left out. Anyway, I will try to convince them that they should play active role in SAMA activities. And thank you very much. Congratulations to all my colleagues who are a member of SAMA in any capacity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghulam Rasool Saab, for your very kind words. And with this, we have completed the remarks from all the advisory committee members. Besides the advisory committee members, we have also invited the current Director Generals of Meteorology, who are not the advisory committee members of SAMA, because we know that their guidance and motivation is also very important for the activities of SAMA. So I hope they are there. I'm not sure whether they are there or not, but from Nepal, I heard that Mr. Sarju Vaidya, he is not available, so we miss him. And the other country whose current Director General is not the member of the advisory committee is Sri Lanka. The current Director General is Mr. Karuna Naike. I think, is Mr. Karunanayake there? Probably not. But all other countries present Director General of Meteorology or even the former Director General of Meteorology are the members of the advisory committee. So thank you very much all. In fact, the guidance from the members of the advisory committee are very important for the activities of SAMA. In fact, all that activity that we have been able to conduct are because of your guidance and motivation, because you have steered the program and continuously supported us. So thank you very much all for your support and kind remarks. And before we go for the vote of thanks, we would like to have a photo session quickly. And I would like to request all the members to switch on their videos so that we can have a nice photo session. So please switch on your videos. Yes. I see Mrs. Anusa, Mr. Sunil Kariavasam, Mr. Dr. Subaya. Please switch on your video, please. Tagi Saab. Tagi Saab, are you there? He is logged in, but probably he is not listening to us. Tagi Saab, are you there? So anyway, let's have a quick snap screenshot. Can we take all, because I see there are two screens, each having 20.
No, sir, here is only one. I have taken.
Yeah, I have also taken.
You've taken
right.
both the screens, right?
Yes, sir. It's
in together, yeah.
Okay, great. So very good. So thank you very much all. And now we would like to present the vote of thanks, the most important part of the program. And for that, I would like to invite Professor Binod Dawadi from Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal, to present the vote of thanks. Dr. Binod, please.
Professor Tyagi, chair of this program, Professor Das, the convener of the SAMA, distinguished guest, eminent scientists on board, all the participants via Zoom, social medias, and friends from all around the globe. It is my great pleasure and privilege to offer vote of thanks in this auspicious moment of the first Foundation Day celebration of South Asian Meteorological Association, SAMA. Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitudes of our Professor U.C. Mohanty, who really highlighted the importance of climate science for the welfare of the society and importance of the cooperation among the countries in the region and to tackle the meteorological disaster in this region. Professor Mohanty gave a brief talk on illuminate the need of the regional organization like SAMA and its role for forcing the capacity, particularly among the young scientists, and highlighted the importance of data sharing among the countries for mutual benefits. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Harinder, President, International Federation of Meteorological Societies, and Dr. Chattopadhyay, convener, South Asia Forum on Agricultural Meteorology, for their incitement and motivation to work in international collaborations in their respective fields. Further, we are grateful to the directors of our member international organization, Dr. Pema Yamsov, Director General of ECMOD, and Dr. Subaya, Director of RAMS, for giving an excellent coverage to the importance of the cooperation and wishes for SAMA. We really appreciate your ideas and we wish to work in close collaboration with you. I am very thankful to Professor Sriram Sharma, President, South Asian Lightning Network, for your wise words and synthesizing the challenges and opportunities for the collaboration in South Asia. Similarly, I would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Mr. Rohit Malhotra, the Deputy Director of IDARE and South Asian Heat Health Initiative, and Dr. Mitra, the head of National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, India, and BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate for gracious presence and willingness to enhance the regional capacity building for the summer. I'd like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Srinivas Kumar, the Director of Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, and Dr. Elias Rathore, the former Director General of Indian Meteorological Department and international consultant of the World Bank, for your insightful ideas on collaboration, capacity building, and great support in many ways. In addition, a big thanks to the authorities of the higher authorities of the Meteorological Division of each member countries for the establishment and promotion of some activities. Similarly, I would like to extend our deep honor to the head of academic and research institutions of the member countries for their each and every efforts on the establishment and success of the SAMA activities. Finally, thanks to advisory committee members for their tireless efforts, guidance, and encouragement for us to make SAMA in this form. At last, but not least, I'd like to thank to all the EST members and all the meteorologists of this region for your strong support and encouragement that is driving SAMA in the new stage in the days to come. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Vinod, for presenting the vote of thanks. In fact, our executive support team is the backbone of all the activities of SAMA. And I would like to especially thank them by name. Dr. Akhilesh Misra from NCMRW of India, Dr. Vinod Davadi, of course, from Tribhuvan University, Nepal, Ms. Chatuska Premchandra from the Department of Meteorology, Sri Lanka, Dr. Fatima Akhtar from the Department of Meteorology, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh, Ms. Han Sui from the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology, Myanmar, Dr. Indira Kadel from the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology, Government of Nepal, Dr. Madan Sigdel from the Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal, Dr. Mohan Kumar Das from Nawami, Bangladesh, Ms. Prithika Madhvi Jaikodi from Department of Meteorology, Sri Lanka, Professor P.V.S. Raju from Amity University, Jaipur, Dr. Rohini L. Bhavar from the Savitri Bai Phule University, Pune University, India, Dr. Swagat Paira from Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, India, Dr. T.V. Lakshmi Kumar from ASRL, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, India, Mr. Bhaskar Sharma from Royal University of Bhutan, and Mr. Wen Mao from the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology, Myanmar. So you are the basically backbone of all these activities of SAMA. Thank you very much, all of you. And now I would like to hand over the floor to Dr. Tyagi Saab for his last words.
Somesh, thank you so much. I think I've got no words to express my thanks and gratitude to all our eminent speakers, panelists, participants, and the executive support team. Under the guidance of our advisory council members, whatever little we could achieve is because of teamwork, and I'm sure a young team under the guidance of seniors will be able to achieve the targets which are being set today. We'll positively come back with the recommendations, get it refined from our AC members, and then take necessary steps to achieve those targets. I think sky is the limit, and we'll positively work towards that. Thank you so much to each one of our distinguished participants for their valuable time. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Although we are about 45 minutes late, we could complete the program successfully. So thank you very much. And namaskar to everybody. Good night.